Hello there, and thanks for visiting the Varykino YouTube channel. I'm Kristy.
And I'm Matt.
We're long-standing Star Wars fans who live and breathe Star Wars every day.
Welcome to another installment of Our Week of Star Wars, a series recapping the Star Wars fun we've had during the past week. The first thing to talk about is something that's really occupied my time quite a bit in the last week. I'm really excited to have been able to publish the first Star Wars reference book that I have written. This is on the topic of Toltoy's New Zealand vintage Star Wars card backs. In New Zealand we had some unique card back packaging for vintage action figures, and I've put together a book that really describes how to identify these, the whole story behind them, and the company that's responsible for them. That book can be purchased through Amazon, and it's been really fun to get a positive reception to that book. If you want to see a full preview, we will have a link to a video that takes a quick look at the contents of that book down below.
In Star Wars gaming news, we recently attended the local pre-release event for the new Star Wars TCG from Fantasy Flight Games, Star Wars Unlimited. Sometimes we don't get game release events here for us in New Zealand, so we were super excited to be able to attend this at our local game store in our local neighborhood, and we had a lot of fun. We unboxed the pre-release box on the channel. I'll have that video linked below if you want to see what cards I pulled, and we're really excited for this game. The full range launches on the 8th, and we are fully on board. I'm so excited.
Yeah, the design's fantastic. The cards themselves look great. And although we're kind of new to this gaming style, I think it's quite playable, and I think we're going to catch on quite well and enjoy it.
In terms of watching Star Wars, we are really enjoying the sadly final season of Bad Batch on Disney+. I am really excited to see where the story arcs for the characters will end up. It's always such a cliffhanger between each episode. I want to watch the next one straight away, but I know that with each episode I watch, we're getting closer and closer to the finale, and I'm not sure that I'm ready for the end of the Bad Batch. I'm just really loving this show.
No, it will be a shame when it ends, but so far I'm really enjoying the direction that the story's heading and where they're taking the characters, and it'll be fun to see how it pans out. Also in Star Wars viewing news, we had confirmation this past week that here in New Zealand, some cinema chains are going to be running double movie marathons for May the 4th, for the weekend of May the 4th. Specifically, they're going to run the original trilogy on May the 4th and the prequel trilogy on May the 5th. It's been 10 years since we had a movie marathon event in New Zealand, so it's going to be a really good opportunity to see all the movies on the big screen in this way.
Yeah, 10 years is a long time to go without being able to see the Star Wars films on the big screen. Yet it hasn't been quite that long since we had the sequels and some of the other films, but these are like the OG, the ones that you want to sort of show your kids and stuff like that. So we're super excited that May 4th is landing on a weekend for us this year, and that the movie theaters around New Zealand are getting on board. So it's going to be such an awesome Star Wars day on May the 4th for us.
Star Wars weekend.
Yeah, for fans in New Zealand. So we're super excited about that.
Over the past week, we've picked up or received a few cool Star Wars items, including the vintage collection 3.75-inch versions of R5-D4 and Chopper. I'm a big fan of Astromechs, particularly R5-D4. Ever since I had the vintage figure as a kid, I could well have done with a whole lot more vintage Astromechs, but at the time there was only 2 available. But R5-D4 has a special place in my heart because of that connection.
And I'm super happy to be able to add the Chopper figure to our TVC collection. This one has been super hard to find locally. We were hunting around a bunch of stores, and I managed to find one, and so that was enough. I grabbed them, so very happy to be able to add that one to our collection.
I think it was short packed, so I'm happy with that score as well.
In a mail call from overseas, I added to my Young Jedi Adventures collection the Crimson Firehawk. Now, this is Nash's ship that features fairly prominently across the series of episodes. This one was not available locally. I kept inquiring with local stores. No one seemed to get it, so I had to import this one from overseas, and it's finally here. The box is really heavy. I cannot wait to open this one up and take a look inside.
The next 3 items are all purchases that we managed to get at heavily discounted prices, so we consider that some serious Star Wars wins. First up is a little shelf-top Stormtrooper light. This will look quite good on a bookshelf or on a desk, and we haven't opened it yet, but we're looking forward to doing that. And we've got a couple of other similar ones like this, but the Stormtrooper one we didn't previously have, and we got this one for well under half price, frankly.
Yeah, we'd been keeping an eye on it because I really liked the design of it, and then when I checked the price one day, it was just like a couple of bucks on clearance. I'm like, oh, now I have to grab it. I'm not letting that one go.
This Star Wars logo cap got for an extremely good price from a local department store. It's become my favourite Star Wars cap. I constantly wear it. I'm a big fan of just the plain logo on product, and this one with its yellow trim around the logo reminds me of the sort of vintage comic era of Star Wars logos.
And something that I'm personally very excited about was an enormous haul of Star Wars cushions. Now, there is a fabulous range at one of our local stores of these fun Star Wars cushions. They have big round ones for floor cushions and classic square ones, but they were a little bit on the pricier side, and I knew I wanted a bunch of them, so I was keeping an eye on the pricing. And then lo and behold, they went on clearance, and I found a local store that was actually in the midst of closing down that had half off again of everything, including standard and clearance prices. So I got them for just a fraction of their original price.
Right.
So I grabbed everything that they had. I didn't want to lose any of that amazing Star Wars cushions. I wanted to have them all for my bedroom. So we've got this enormous pile of soft and fun Star Wars cushions. I'm so happy.
In terms of YouTube videos that we've published in the past week, we've got a little bit of a list because we've been having a good run on content there. First up is the SWTOR guidebook that I mentioned earlier on vintage Toll Toys New Zealand card backs.
In Funko Pop Vinyl unboxings, I take a look at the Valentine's Day 2024 Princess Leia and the matching Valentine's Day Star Wars 4-pack of mini Funko figures.
Chocolate flavoured Funkos, those ones. We opened the Obi-Wan Series 2-pack, which features Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader in their final duel. Darth Vader has a fantastic fight-damaged helmet. I love that feature to that figure.
I really liked being able to finally get these ones out of their box and take a look close up because, of course, they came in a blind box and they just look amazing, especially out of their packaging.
Yes, they were blister cards, but they were packaged together in a separate opaque box. And it wasn't available locally. We had to bring that one in from overseas, but it was well worth it.
We also uploaded a video unboxing 2 of the Star Wars Unlimited pre-release boxes. So if you like watching unboxings of cards and want to see the odds, the rarities, the cool pulls, the characters that I got, do check that one out. I had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, it sounded like it. And as I say, I really love the art on those cards, particularly the variant cards in there. They look great.
I was so excited to see the foil and hyperspace variants in person. That foil effect on the art looks really, really pretty.
We're talking about our uploaded videos in no particular order, and it looks like the last 3 we're going to mention are all Black Series. We opened up the Season 2 of Bad Batch version of Wrecker. This is him in the mercenary variant of his armor. I love this figure. It's a really good rendition of the character. He comes with a couple of accessories, but overall I just love the bulk of his armor, and it comes across really well in this format and this scale.
Particularly since this was our first time viewing the figure, because he comes in one of that short-lived Hasbro's plastic-free packaging. So it was really exciting to know that, yes, a character that we really liked did have a good figure inside that box. I also opened up the Morgan Elsbeth Black Series figure from the Ahsoka series. A little bit more on the sort of subdued side. She doesn't come with any accessories or weapons, but she's still an essential character to add if you are collecting up from the Ahsoka series.
And finally, we just mentioned that we recently were able to purchase the TVC version of Chopper. We also did a video opening up the Black Series version of Chopper. This is billed as a Rebels version, but he looks quite good with his paint apps. They may well do a live action version under the Ahsoka banner later down the line, but it's nice just to have a version of a Chopper in this scale. It's actually our first one in this scale. This figure is quite fantastic in terms of the amount of articulation. He has some real surprising little features there, so we hope you enjoy that video if you check it out. So on that note, thanks for listening to another episode of Our Week of Star Wars. We appreciate you taking your time to listen to us.
And stay tuned for another episode next week. And as always, may the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.